Hi, I'm MacKay, and today we're going to be making a simple but delicious dish called porchetta. So first we got to get it prepped and tied up. So I'm going to be making some really light score marks just across, about 1 inch apart, and we're going to score both sides crosshatch. So we're going to do the other side, same thing. Now that we've crosshatched both sides, we've got our fat side down on our cutting board, and we're going to just kind of test to see our roll. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna taper off about 1 inch at the end here. That way we're gonna get a really nice seal when we go to tie it and bake it. Okay, so I'm gonna start by running my knife about 2 inches away from the end in a slightly down angle. As you can see now, we have a nice tapered end. That way when we actually go to roll it, it's gonna seal up really, really nice and tight. Now that we've tapered off our end, we have a little bit of extra pork. Often your pork belly will be a little bit thicker on one side. So I'm gonna take that extra pork and I'm gonna stick it in the skinny side. So when we go to roll it, we're gonna end up with a really nice even roll. Now it's time to flavor up this porchetta. So I'm gonna start with rosemary. Next, we're gonna go with fresh thyme. Next, fresh garlic. All right, now we're just gonna salt the inside here. Next, chili flakes. Now that it's all kind of evenly distributed, we're just gonna slightly rub it in and push it down just so it sticks nicely to the pork. Next, we just gotta roll it up. So I'm gonna roll it up as tight as I can. You wanna leave your seal side down on your cutting board. That way it's gonna be a little bit easier when you go to tie it. You're gonna take your length of rope and you're gonna slide it just underneath, about 1 inch from the end. We'll tie it down first like that, make sure it's tight, but you don't want it too tight, because as you go down the porchetta, you don't want to have big bulges. So you want it to be tight and firm, but at the same time, not pressing any of the meat away from it. So every time I go to tie, I'm gonna do it about 1 inch to 1.5 inches away from the last one. Okay, now that we have our porchetta nicely wrapped and tied, we're just gonna take some salt and we're gonna season the outside. So just gonna rub that salt in a little bit. And then we are gonna put it on our roasting tray. And we're gonna get it in the oven at 420 for 20 minutes and give it a good blast of heat to get that outside nicely caramelized. Then we're gonna turn down the heat to 325 for about 1.5 hours. While the pork's in the oven, we're gonna make a really simple but delicious garnish that's gonna go really well with this roasted porchetta. So first, we're gonna start with sun-dried tomatoes. Some capers to add a little bit of brine. Next, just some flat leaf parsley. Some slivered toasted almonds. And we're just gonna finish with a little bit of olive oil. All right, all we're gonna do is just give that a nice mix up. All right, now that's all mixed up, we're just gonna reserve that for later and just wait for our porchetta to come out of the oven. Now that our porchetta has been out of the oven and rested for about 1 hour, we're gonna take off the strings carefully. All right, we've got all the strings removed. Now it's my absolute favorite part. It's time to cut into our porchetta. So I'm just gonna get about 1 inch slices. Ooh, that looks beautiful. Now we're just gonna top it with a little bit of our garnish. I can't wait to try this. This looks and smells delicious. If you want this recipe and many more, you can go to food.crs.